First, I'm going to select our painter and click on Delete Tool. Usually we use them for scale, we don't need it this time. I'm going to go View, Standard Camera from the top. I'm going to draw a rectangle, and I'm going to type in 20m, 5m and click Enter. And you'll see that it makes my rectangle that size. So I'll drag that over to the middle. And now I'm going to lift it up using the pull push tool, and I want it 3 meters high, so I pull it up and then type in 3m and click on Enter, and I now have a rectangle 3 meters tall. I'm going to go back to the top again. I'm going to put in some columns, and these are I'm going to make a circle. And I could copy and paste these, but that's really difficult and take a long time. So, first of all, I want to make my column 1.5 meters high. So I pull it up, type in 1.5m, click Enter, and that is my column made. Now this is the tricky part, but a really clever wow part, because I want to make 16 columns along here. So, first I click on the arrow key, and then click on my column 3 times to select it. So I must click 3 times quickly, and then you'll see it's turned blue, so I've selected it. Now I click up on the Move tool, click at the bottom of my column, I hold the Control button down and I drag out my column. I now down the bottom click on the / tool, which is underneath the question mark, and type in 16 and click Enter, and as you can see it makes all of those columns for me. It is tricky, so you might need to try it a few times. Let's just do it again now. So the first thing I do is I select my column. I do that by clicking on it 3 times, so that is now selected. Next I click on the Move tool, I then hold the Control tool and drag it out, and now because this part is smaller, I'm going to click the / tool under the question mark, type in 6 and Enter, and there are my columns. I'm going to try this 2 more times. It is fiddly, you need to practice it, that's good. So again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to click on the arrow and then click 3 times on my column. I'm going to click on the Move tool, I'm going to click the Control button, and once again I'm going to then drag it out. I'm going to make it move down past the bottom of my building because I want all of the columns to join up, and I'm going to click on 16, there's my columns. Now you won't get this perfect, but you can see that it's such a handy tool. And I'm just going to do the same just down the bottom, connecting these. I'll be surprised if they connect properly because it's so difficult. As you can see, they are slightly out, but that's going to happen. So again, I select my column by clicking 3 times, click on the Move tool, hold the Control button down, and then drag out my column, and then / under the question mark, and I'm going to put in 6 of those. Okay, so it's not perfect, but as we saw, it's really difficult to add those columns, so this is the easiest way, and once you practice a few times you might get it so your columns are perfect and they do match up. Now next thing is to add my lower roof. Now this is really tricky to do, and when I try to add an object on top, it keeps recognizing these columns and it gets really difficult to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my arrow button, select tool, and I'm going to select all my buildings so far, and I'm going to go into the edit screen and make a component. So this now treats those columns and my base of my house as one whole block. And now when I go to, actually I'm going to turn it sideways and draw a rectangle along the side. That's it, it's a rectangle, and the bottom of the rectangle is going to be on top of the columns, and with my pull push tool, just move that around, yeah, that's good. With my pull push tool I'm going to drag it out so that new rectangle, or sorry, cube, which is 3D, is on top of my columns, and I'm happy with that because this is again very fiddly. I'm just going to use the orbit tool to move it to the end, and I'm going to draw a line here, and this is a new skill. I'm going to draw a diagonal line going from the top down to the bottom to my columns, and now I'm just going to set the top part and push it away, and I've now got my lower roof on there, and I will then repeat that, move around using the orbit tool and repeat that for all 4 sides. Good luck, because a lot of this is very tricky.